to the Valley of Grace podcast, helping women reclaim their power, soul, and identity so they will know they're enough. I have a guest today. His name is Jackson Mutebi, and we're going to be talking about toxic relationships, business, writing books, etc.
Second chance. This person was my friend. My husband, my husband was there for me. He did this for me some time back. I think it can change. Religion can come to play whereby there's forgiveness. They will tell you, can you forgive? Can you please try to wait and see can you try to forgive and see if this person is going to change? You get a point. That's why some people, because of that, some of them may want to hang on. Then the others, are being brainwashed. You may be a total brainwash. You enter a relationship and that person takes on all your mindset.
Yes.
Whereby he knows how you think, what you eat, who you talk to, what you do at a particular time, when you sleep, when you wake up. That person he will study you and take you, and he's going to rewire. They call it rewiring.
Yes.
So he changes your configuration. So you're fixed to that person, and you realize, I cannot leave this person. Are you getting where I'm coming from? Because that person has wired you. You get a point? So you're stuck with that. You're stuck in that kind of environment. You think, if I leave this environment, he has a lot of influence, he has a lot of friends, he has a lot of money, I can't stand on my own. What are people going to say? We used to do this, we used to go here, he used to buy me this, we used to do this, blah, blah, blah. So if I leave, what are people going to say?
Right.
Instead of you leaving, and working to yourself, rewire yourself, dewire yourself again, and then rewire. You need to dewire. Get a point? Yeah?
Yep.
You're being rewired,
Yep.
So you need to dewire, So get rid of that. Take all that kind of toxicity within you, take it off, and then rewire to your normal, and then build to where you want to go.
Exactly.
So that's the other issue. You find that people are so stuck. Why? They've been rewired.
Yes.
That kind of people. And these are great influencers.
Yes.
Great influencers. So they feel like, if I leave him, oh God, what am I going to do? Where am And wherever he's going, he's talking about you. He's trying to put you down.
Right.
But you need to realize that you have something within you. You yourself, you have something within you, and you can do something. As I've told you, I didn't have the best English.
Exactly.
My first book, people said, this is rubbish. Who's going through this? It's rubbish. Where are you going? Recently, I met a person who said that.
Wow.
You could not believe that I've written over 11 books.
Wow. Right. And they see, as long as people can get in here, like you said, and rewire your brain, reconfigure it like they're reconfiguring a computer, then they've got you. Because to me, it's when it comes to the brain, your brain is equivalent to the motherboard of the computer. You know what I'm saying? That motherboard is where everything has to connect up to it in order to function. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So that's because, as I've told you, my first book, that was a scenario, a lot of talking, no, only one book like this, but a lot of talking, but I said, no, I can't live with one book. People are doing great things. This is nothing. I can do great things. I'm from university. I have a master's,
Right.
I've done my bachelor's, I've done my master's and postgraduate. All this kind of talking of their nonsense, who's going to listen to you? Wow. No, that is nonsense. I need to realize who I am. Who am I? What do I have within me? I need to bring it out, and then boom, that was it. I cut off all that.
Right.
I cut all of that. I told you, I look at my environment every day, and this, you're going to get out of distractions and objections to where you want to go. but you need to say no. This is where I want to go, and you get to that. You get to that direction. Yeah.
Because when you say that, a lot of times, as we talked about, because people are jealous and they want you to stay on the same level as they are, and then a lot of times they will try to convince you to conform, not only to conform to where they are, but then there'll be some people that want you to just conform to doing things the way they do it, because they want to make you think that you being different is a problem. You see what I'm saying? They don't look at it as an asset to what you're doing. They, tell you, well, everybody else is doing it like this, so you should do it like that, or your way is not going to work out. You know what I'm saying?
I get your point. Which is completely wrong. We are all different. We do things differently. Yeah, we do we do things differently, and you need to be you need to diversify. You need to incorporate everyone, and take that person from that where he or she is coming from and what is bringing on table. In business, we do that. You need to realize where a person is coming from, what is bringing on table, analyze it, see where, if it is an area needs improvement, how can we work on that? You get a point. You don't have to just dish someone, no, that is wrong, blah, 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 no. That's not right. You go into businesses, you go to churches and things like that. These are kind of things that you really find, because some people are different.
Right.
They have different ways of doing things,
but
they want you to do things in their own way. Sometimes you may find that that's how things are being done. But if someone brings a better idea of other ways of doing things, we need to incorporate that and try it and see.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so true.
It's a relationship that is not it's not rewarding. That's why it's toxic. There's no reward in it. It's all chaos,
Yes.
It's all chaos. You call someone, you had to work on something, and the person you're calling, the time you call, you saw just disagreement. You're discussing this, you're shouting at one another, there's a lot of disagreement. There's no collaboration. That's toxic.
Yes.
That's toxic. It leads to fighting. It leads to anger. It leads to jealousness. All that's kind of toxic. Yeah, that's why you find social media, people who used to be friends, because of that kind of toxic relationships. They dismantle. They don't want to connect or try to talk with one another because of their toxic behaviors that may have happened before. So behavior will bring about it. Disagreement will bring about it. Let's work on this. And we've agreed this is a time that we should work on this project, and this is the amount of money that we need to work on. And then you bring the monies to work on the project, and then the other person or the partner you're working on a project is not willing to bring the monies. And when you start talking about a project, you brought in the idea, you brought in the monies, and it's told all people around, it was my project, it was my monies. So you listen from the people telling them, she says that the project was hers and the monies was hers. So what are you trying to say? So it's going to be toxic. Yeah, you see? It's going to be toxic. At the end of the day, you start, everyone tries to, but if you're very busy and very wise, you cut off such kind of, because there's no growth. We call them stagnant.
Yes.
Stagnant, those are stagnant projects or businesses. So
there's no growth involved.
Yeah.
And they'll keep you at that level, as we talked about.
They want to keep you. Yeah. They want to keep you at that level. Yeah.
You'll be in a cycle of stagnancy, chaos, and confusion, right? And jealousy, round and round and round.
That's true. That
is so true. So now, would you say, why do you think people stay in toxic relationships so long instead of coming out? Whether it's romantic, friends, or business, why do you think people stay in it so long instead of just bringing themselves out of it?
Yeah, my name is Jackson Mutebi, and I'm an author of around 11 books, published 9 books so far. I started with one book that was Innovation in DNA, the Powerhouse of Forward Thinking, that is 2013, and it was about me realizing what I have within me when I was seeing my environment and the way things were being done in a company and in society. And I came about trying to really coming up with different ideas or ways of doing things, and that involves innovation, and that involves doing things differently and differently. But you're trying to really push a business model. You're trying to create a new system. You're trying to work on a new idea, product, and service. You're trying to work on a new business and things like that. So I came about with that idea and started giving in ideas on ways of doing things. And within that, I got the urge of trying that book, writing that book, which I published in 2013, Innovation in DNA, The Powers of Forward Thinking. And since then, I've never stopped. I've never stopped because I realize my DNA. I realize my space. I realize that there's a lot we can really do in this world, no matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter from which culture you are. It doesn't matter your past. It doesn't matter your education. As people will say, you should be having a PhD. You should be having the best English in this world to write a book. You should be have gone to this kind of school to do a kind of speech and things like that. No, it didn't stop me. It didn't stop me. I'm an African. I come from Africa. I'm Ugandan. I've been in the United Kingdom for over 14 years. There may be challenges, yeah, but it has not really stopped me from pushing to where I want to go and really working on global macroeconomic issues, of which I'm showing the world that I can participate and I have what it takes through this kind of publishing new books that empower infinite game changers to take initiative in all different kinds of sectors. This may be footballer, you may be a footballer, you may be a great writer, you may be good in technology, you may be in a podcast as you were. This is really wonderful. As you were, you may be a great speaker.
Right.
You may be a professional, a scientist. All these things are within us, but you need to create time. You need to find that. The urge. What moves you every day? What is that something that you always put down every day? What is that thing that you really wanted to work on some years back, but because of the environment you're in, people are saying, no, it can't happen, you don't have what it takes, and things like that. Yet you see people working on the same kind of thing, they don't come from anywhere.
Right.
They don't have anything. They're like you, they have the same blood,
Right.
They have the same hours. We have 24 hours a day, and they're doing great. So that's all about innovation in DNA. We have what it takes, and we all can create better companies, better business models, and we can be great game changers in this world because the system is broken and needs fixing. Who's going to fix it? It's not the government. No, it's we to fix the system.
Exactly.
You're fixing the system right now because as I'm speaking, someone is listening and is saying, "Oh, wow. Jackson's talking about something I need to really work on. I wanted to be, I thought of working on a great idea in catering. I may start right now. You start from small beginnings,
Right.
small beginnings,
Yes.
day by day, day by day, day by day, and then a habit will grow. Of which that habit you'll never break it. You'll never break that habit, and you go on developing day by day. And within that, you build a community. After
That is
building a
so
community,
true. So what would you
fantastic.
say? What would you say was some of the challenges in your
Yeah.
environment that you had to overcome?
Yeah. The challenges I had to overcome was inertia, fear. What do people say?
Okay.
Yeah, my English is not the best.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, my first book, my first book is that my English wasn't really the best. So they said, "Who's going to read this? Who's going to read this? Your English is not the best." I said, "No, I will write it."
Right.
I went out to exhibitions. my response wasn't all the best, you know.
Mhm.
I wanted to promote the book. I didn't have the monies, you know.
Right.
So yeah, those are kind of challenges and kind of discouragements. But I realized one day, I sat down and realized, that was last year. I said, no, 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 no. I cannot be discouraged because of the monies, the English, where I'm coming from.
Yes.
There is something within me that I can try to catapult and build a greater business model. I wrote over 7 books in 1 year.
Wow, that was a blessing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And
very-
all that was for me realizing what do I have within me that I can share
Already.
to the global world,
Yes.
And when I wrote that out and I published the books, I'm telling you, Catherine, from then onwards, it's just being from step to step. All these fears, all what people will say, you're not good in this, or it's jealousy,
Yes.
it's
I
jealousy.
know. It sure is.
Yeah.
I've realized
Yeah.
that too. It's sad, isn't it? But it's a lot of it is jealousy. A lot
Yeah,
of it is
yeah.
because other people, they don't have the courage to step out and do it themselves. So then they decide, I've got to figure out a way to break him or her down so that they will feel just as bad as I do. So that by the time I get through with them, they're not going to want to do it either.
Jealousy. Then the other thing is about the crowd. We've been friends for 2 years, 3 years, and we've been moving together, and we've been doing the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to step out to that crowd. I'm moving up.
Right.
And I'm telling you to step up, and you're not willing to step up. So that person is going to try to put you down.
Right.
Get a point? So that you stay in the same level,
Right.
share the same kind of information.
Right.
No.
Right.
No. Yeah. So if you start moving that way, you're moving this direction. They want you to move back down where you are, so that you stay in the same kind of environment. You're watching this movie. You're going at this place. You're just time wasters. You're dealing with time wasters.
Right.
That's the kind of life some people are, and they realize the year is gone. I wanted to do this. I've not done it. I wanted to do this. I've not done it. I want to do this. The time was there.
Right.
But you didn't prioritize.
Right. We had time, like you said, we didn't prioritize. And like you said,
prioritize.
Yeah, what happens, they get, we can get into a comfort zone. And then, like you said, if we get to the point where we're growing, the other person wants us to stay right there with them. But it can't happen like that. Either I have a figure of speech where I say either they grow as we're growing or they go as we're growing. One of the two, either they're going to come, hop aboard, right? They're going to hop on board, or they're going to leave, because you can't be in a situation where one person is growing and the relationship stays the same, because it will.
Yeah, that's what they call stretching. Yeah.
Right.
That's what they call stretching. You need to stretch. You need to accept stretching. It's not going to be easy.
No.
Stretching is not in one of my books, Infinite Game Changers, for the 100x model. There's that mode of stretching. You need to accept to stretch.
Right.
Stretching it's not gonna be easy. It's a methodology whereby you practice every day on what goals you're gonna work on for you to stretch. This may be in business, in your health, in your relationship, in your futuristic ideas, but you have to take steps day by day. And when you start stretching like this, when you start moving from that comfort zone or that area or horizon, I call them horizon, to the best horizon you want, my friend, when you go back to that area where you were before, you realize, no, I'm doing things. I used to spend time doing this. I don't even have time to watch this kind of movie. I used to watch 10 movies a week. I'm watching 1 movie. I get a point. I used to make 13 calls to friends to ask to see how they are. 30 calls a week. I'm making 2 calls. So that's kind of stretching. Stretching is gonna cut a bit of time wasters or unnecessary tasks to goals and objectives.
That time. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So
my word.
Yeah, so that's me, and within that, I set up a company, Smart Egg Group, and we are growing very fast, I'm looking for a 1 million funding and things like that to work on
Right.
great ideas. You know, great
Man.
ideas.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
to push
sure.
this one. Yeah, yeah. So I'm also really working. Before you came on, I was writing another book. I'm every day my mind is moving. I'm writing. This idea comes, this idea comes, this idea comes. Why? Because I created that environment.
Yes.
You need to create that environment. And please guard the environment. You need to guard your environment. Who is in your environment? Who is in your environment? Every time, every second, every minute, every hour, you need to ask, who is in my environment? Is this supposed to be in my environment? Because if someone gets into your environment, it's going to take away your time. It's going to push you away from what you're really working on. Get a point. So it's really, really key. So, yeah, that's how.
Would you think that when it comes to the environment, like we could have a lot of distractions, and then we can have a lot of other people that come as destruction, so to speak, or a combination of the two? You know, some things can just be pure distractions to get your mind off focus, and then some of those, you know what I'm saying? Some of those distractions are like they're forms of destruction to destroy what it is you've got that you want to do as far as, you know, your purpose and calling in life.
It's true, yeah. So because at the end of the day, who is your environment? Your environment, most of it is from within you.
Right.
Within you, the ideas, the past events, the current events, what you need to work on, what you didn't work on, what can be postponed. You know, you need to be analytical, you know? Yeah. Right. So those kind of environments, who's calling? Who's trying to call? Is it necessary to pick that phone right now? You're finishing a chapter and you have to do a book, say a book talk tomorrow, and you have to finish it. You have to finish that podcast or the topic you're going to work on. But someone is calling, maybe from Africa, and is calling. He wants money, or he wants. You tell him, is it really important to pick this call? Or let me first finish up what I'm doing, and then I will talk to that person. Get a point. Right. What am I thinking right now? There are some things that will come your way, whereby it's really past, but it's trying to distract you at that moment. And you're really working on a big project. You know, you need to present a big project. You're working on a business plan, you know. Right. So those are kind of things that you need to really, as you grow in this area, you start have that awareness of who is in your environment. Is that activity or that person, yeah? Is it really necessary for me to that person to be that environment? Is that person adding value to where I'm going to? You know,
that is true. Right? Is it? You're right. Are they adding value? Are they taking value away from you? Right? Right? Yeah. So that is so important. Now I've got a question for you. What do you think causes a disconnect in human relationships?
What causes us to disconnect from a human relationship?
Like when you have relationships between two or more people, what causes the relationship to end up where there's a disconnect? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because as the first one I've discussed with you, my goals and purposes would change. For example, I was in a community, a 10X community, and we were discussing on, we are working on, we used to work on projects in relation, let me say, I'm just giving an example, in food technology. Yeah. Right. And I realized that the projects we're really working on the food technology, I'm putting in a lot of effort. Right. And the community I'm working with is not really coming to the level I'm really working on. So I'm wasting a lot of time. Right. You get a point? Yeah? I'm getting a lot of time. So when I change trajectory, I call it a shift. On YouTube, I usually give lessons. There's a shift. I create a shift. I say, this community is not serving me to where I want to go. Right. You know, we need to work on these projects, and these projects are not moving to the rate that I need to be worked on. So I need to shift. So when I start shifting and I move to the next level, let's say 60x or 70x, you know, right? There's going to be a disconnect from my community. I was working on the food community ideas or technological ideas to a new 60 or 70x food technological ideas, where I know these people, whatever we talk on, we said there's a meeting tomorrow, I'll surface, you know? Huh?
Right.
Huh? There's a seminar here, there's a virtual conference, I'll discuss, you know? Yeah?
Right.
Huh? You know, there's total participation. So within that, there's total connection. So interest is really key. When interest or purpose fails, there's a disconnect of human relation. So those are goals and objectives. They will differ, you know.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
I get where I'm coming from. Yeah. Then
Yeah.
the other thing is about other is more or less about technology. When you look at different countries, and you find that the level of technological applications, the way we communicate and things like that, some countries are not up to that level.
That's
so
true.
it's gonna take them time, yeah, to say like coming on Zoom. You know, some don't have electricity.
That's
some
true.
some of them can't even can't afford even a smartphone. You know, that can really disconnect. They want to, but the barrier of the equipment and things like that is stopping them from
That is so
this
true.
connection.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like you said, as far as it could be different goals. And then, like you said, it
Yeah.
could be technology that's disconnecting
Yeah.
you from human relationships. Now, can people reach you if they want to get in touch with you about your
People can reach me. I'm on LinkedIn. Mutebi Jackson. I'm on all social medias, on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Pinterest. You know. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm on TikTok. I'm on all social medias. My books on Amazon. Waterstone. If you just put in Mutebi Jackson, you get all you just get the Mutebi Jackson's books. You get all my books: Innovation in DNA, The Powers Forward Thinking, Volume 1, Volume 2, Infinite Game Changers, A Smart Mindset in You, The Genius Mindset in You, Thinking Big in Tough Times. That is one in COVID. Then the Genius, Thinking Genius Ideas in Tough Times. You know, your 5 I Ams weekly. Weekly and then monthly, you know. Change is good for winning companies in the 21st century. That's about things to do with climate change, sustainability, green innovation, green technology. And then the others are really are coming. By the end of this year, I think I'll be having around 12 books published. Yeah. So you can get me on LinkedIn. My number is 07438 3367. My email is mutebijackson@yahoo.com. My name's mutebijackson@yahoo.com, mutebijackson@gmail.com. Very simple. I want to say, I don't want to complicate things. Website, we're working on it. It is at smartinc.org. Smartinc.org. So we're working on the website. Yeah, that's where you're going to find a lot of empowering, a lot of resources, you know, working on great ideas, space, working on smart cities, all these kind of things. I've written over 4 abstracts and things like that, and we are looking for participants. We are looking for all professionals to come on board. Yeah. Okay.
Got you. All righty. No, so now we got some quick, fun, rapid fire questions. What is your favorite gadget to use in the kitchen?
God. What favorite gadget do I use in the kitchen? I like using the microwave, you know.
Okay. Yes, that's
I like using
the microwave.
Yeah, it's really quick for me in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yes, that's so cool. Now, what about some of the songs on your playlist? Can you name maybe 2 songs that you have on your playlist?
My playlist, I like gospel music. I like Tasha Cobbs. Jesus is Rock. Is my rock.
Okay.
Who else? I like the lady called, there's another singer, Nigerian singer called Snatchy. She's a very powerful singer. Yeah. She's really good. I tend to listen to her. But I'm more listening to gospel. I also like, there's another gospel singer. My name is really going. That one of I've forgotten about that, but I'm
That's
into a
okay.
lot. I like gospel. I'm
Yes,
into
you
a lot
love
of
some
gospel.
gospel. I like gospel
Yeah.
music too. What
Yeah.
about
Okay.
the name of two books that you like?
Two books I like that I really um I'll go to my books basically. That is Innovation DNA, The Powers of Forward Thinking, and then the Infinite Game Changer. That is the 100x model. Yeah, those are kind of my really books. And then the other one I use daily is my five I ams. Uh, those are kind of empowering qualities of a great leader, basically. Yeah, of your weekly, monthly, and your daily ways of living your life. Yeah. I'll talk about my books basically.
Ah, okay. Now, what does those answers say about you? You have your favorite
Mm.
microwave is the microwave in
Yeah.
the kitchen. You got your
Yeah.
songs like gospel music and Tasha Cobbs and
Yeah.
those choices. What is that? What are all those the answers to those three questions say about you?
The questions that talk, I think they talk about me is that I value my time. I value my time. I'm a God believer. I like God, and all this that I've done is being empowered by the action of God. God is the one in all my books. I first thank God for the insights, for the wisdom He's given me, and the life He's given me. As you look at the recent COVID period, many people died. Many very important people with lots of money.
Mm-hmm.
COVID didn't spare them. It took them. I'm still alive. I'm still moving from height to height. You know.
Yes.
I'm not a type. I'm not. Um, my books is more or less about empowering. I like empowering. I'm into handling macroeconomic issues. The
Mm-hmm.
system is broken and is fixing, and I can't fix it myself. We have to fix it ourselves. Everyone has to take initiative, and that's why I go on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, publishing all these kind of books to empower people from wherever they are, no
Right.
matter each corner, to take initiative and create change. That's why I call them infinite game changers.
Mm.
Everyone is an infinite game changer.
Okay.
No matter where you're coming from, you can create a better community wherever you are, no
Mhm.
matter your level of education, no matter the color, no matter how much you have in your pocket. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Mm, mm,
Amen. Now,
mm.
the last thing is just what's one thing that you can tell the audience as far as parting words of wisdom?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, the words I can empower them. It's just
Yes.
never give up about yourself. Never give up on the genius within you. We have the genius within us, and that uniqueness, you yourself, you need to find it. No matter how much I'll be there to help you or try to really take you that direction, you need to find
Mm-hmm.
that genius within you, and
Yes.
create time to build that genius within you. As you create time building that genius, huh, 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 a community is going to be developed, and this community is going to really support you in everything that you're doing. With the power of the Lord Jesus helping you, and channeling you, giving you wisdom, you're going to
Yes.
be a success, and you're going to be a big player. All these companies you see, Microsoft, Tesla, Google, these were garage companies. These were garage companies. They were formed by people like us, like us,
Right.
like you,
Right.
So don't sit down on your rails and say, no, I'm broken. I can't do this. No, 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 no. You have what it takes. Those
Amen.
are my words. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Mm.
And we finished right on time.
was devoured by earth. There was a God. They call him the Father. And there was a means to make a valley with grace out of this hole that I've dug for me. He made a valley of grace where things would change, and maybe they'd take up the cross high again. The valley of grace was never the same after he had died. The love that refines. There's no sense in trying to do it on my own. He gave more than I could have known. He turned those valleys into places to learn, instead of burn and perish away. And nights never so cold without his grace. How could I say that I've seen the world from his great love? How could I know what he could love? How would I've seen what he had in store for me if I didn't give up and let him be my valley of grace, where things would change, and maybe they'd take up the cross high again. The valley of grace never was the same after he had died. The love that refines. So much I wish I could give back, but I'm not intact to be sharing all of that. You took the price to give me that life, and now it's never gonna fade away. When I see I need more of him, he whispers the sweetest of mercies upon my ears, and I won't go back the way it was again, 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 and now a valley of grace where things would change. I've seen the lights of valley of grace where things have changed. Oh, I've seen so much for me.